does Nat Fife?
He's getting better every day. We'll be, like I've said this week already, we'll be driven by him and how he's feeling, and he's had these injuries before and he's been able to play with injuries before, so we'll be guided by him. I think today's session will be pretty important, not only to see if his shoulder gets through, but to give him confidence. So we're hopeful, but it's not by any stretch over the line.
Any idea how he's guiding you at this stage?
He'll have to get through training for his own confidence, and if he says he's right after training and feels really confident, I'll pick him.
That means obviously testing physically shoulder-wise.
Exactly. So he'll get some good contact at training, whether he feels comfortable with that contact and is able to function, and then he'll have a chat to the docs, and if the docs tick him off from structural point of view and strength point of view, it's really up to him whether he can play with whatever discomfort he's got. So we'll give him a fair bit of responsibility in him playing or not.
You're anticipating many changes?
There'll be a few. We feel Tabernar and Logue and Switkowski will have to get through training, but we feel pretty confident that they'll put their hand up and come back into the side. So there could be a few,
How's Tabs feeling? Initially, this injury just sort of popped up and it's turned into 3 or 4 weeks.
He got through really well on Saturday, and I think that gave him a lot of confidence that he could push it a little bit more, and he did push it a bit more throughout that session, and I think he's grown confidence from that. It's still not 100%, but it's getting closer to high 90s than what it was before the bye. So it's real positive on Tabs.
How did Alex Pearce pull up from his comeback?
Yeah, good, no issues. Especially lower limbs. So he got through flying colours. Bye probably came at a good time just for him to freshen up. It's been a month since he's been back playing, and he's raring to go again.
Do you feel the bye came at a good time for the club as a group with the injuries and just a reset?
Probably just mainly from an injury point of view. Allowed a few of our players opportunity to get an extra week. Griff in particular, Tabs in particular. It's given Fifey an opportunity to only miss one game. So it's come at a pretty good time.
How important is Alex Pearce going forward now, given he can relieve Luke Ryan from having to play at all if he can stay fit?
It's probably something we've been looking for 18 months now. Him or Joel to be able to do that role. So it's critical for us as a team going forward to have one of those two big guys being able to lock down on the key forwards and allow some of our other players to play to their strengths. It's disappointing that we lose Coxie in the process, but getting Griff back into the side and then being able to free up Luke to play to his strengths a little bit more is a real positive.
And is there any hope for Hamilton to get back this season?
Yeah, there is. Yep, I feel he's made real progress, especially the last 2 weeks. He's joined main training. That ankle's trending in the right direction. So we're holding out hope he'll make a return at some stage later in the season.
Any clarity about the travel and the COVID restrictions this morning that you can update us on?
Not really. Getting over to Melbourne won't be an issue. We'll just abide by Victorian government mandates at the moment. Getting back into the state, we might have to go into quarantine for a few days. There's still uncertainty about when the border will open up between WA and Victoria, so that's probably the thing that's providing the uncertainty, but it won't affect our training. If we're in quarantine, we'll get some exemptions. They're still being worked through. But our players might have to be at home for 2, 3, 4 days and only come to the club for training.
So you're looking at flying tomorrow?
Tomorrow Arvo. Yep. So we'll fly as normal.
And back Saturday night if you can, is that?
Yep.
So are they looking at changing the game time as well?
They're looking at a few things. I can only judge, much like you guys, the Sydney situation's thrown a bit of uncertainty into the fixture. So we'll be guided. We'll play Saturday. That's what we need to know at this stage. Time of game, whether it's 3 hours earlier or not, we'll work through, and that won't be a big issue to our players.
And your opponent, how have you gone preparing for someone with a new coach?
We're going to judge it off the last 4 weeks, and I think the thing that's been lost in the coach change is the fact that Collingwood are in pretty good form. They've won their last 2. Before that, they narrow losses to 2 really good sides, and they're in really good form. So don't really expect them to change too much. It's pretty hard to change in season over a bye. So I just think they're a team that's in pretty good form, and we've got to make sure that we focus on their footy, not the stuff that's going on off the field.
Is Sean Darcy hoping that Brodie Grundy gets named? And I suppose, do you hope that as well?
Oh, we're anticipating he will. And yeah, it's a great challenge for Sean. We feel Sean's in really good form. He comes up against one of the best rucks in the comp. It's a good opportunity to see where he's at in his development.
Justin, you were part of Collingwood, obviously, not long ago, through a fair bit of success, got very, very close to the ultimate. What have you made of what's happened since you've left? You know, the president gone, coach gone, this manager, footy manager.
I don't take much notice of it, to be honest. I'm worried about what we're doing as a footy club. Got enough issues to worry about around here and problems to solve and things to look at. So I think what I said before, as a coach, I'm focused on the footy they're playing and how we can compete against them on Saturday. And their footy is pretty good at the moment, so we make sure our players are focused on that.
And the 8 still, halfway through, thereabouts, in the conversation, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. But we need to make sure we get the job done this week. Take it 1 week at a time, and the 8 will look after itself if we get our footy right. We need to become more consistent across 4 quarters, bring our footy for longer. The wins and losses will look after himself.
Reece Conker came in for the last game and Nathan Wilson becomes available again. Do you stick by Reece, or does he go back to Pugh?
We've got a few headaches in selection. Does Willow come back straight back into the side? Griff's available now, so could be up to 5 changes. So we'll have to sit down as a match committee after training and thrash that out. It's good problems to have.
And Hayden Young's getting pretty close.
We hope he'll get some minutes next week at Peel, so he's really close to return.
And Stephen Hill was still 3 or 4, I think, listed.
We've got 3 to 4 listed. We're hopeful that it's a bit sooner than that. So it could be as quick as a couple of weeks, depending on how he progresses through his rehab. We've got 3 to 4 on the injury list because of his history and just being a little bit more conservative, but he could push that time frame.